What's happening, Delco? I'm Rich Shane, and welcome to the What's Happening Delco podcast. Today, I'm joined by Tuesday Walker of Gorgeous Hooks. Tuesday, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me. I'm very excited.
I'm excited, and we get to talk Gorgeous Hooks today. So what is Gorgeous Hooks, and what do you do?
Well, I am a crocheter. I love crocheting. It is a great passion, great stress relief. And I make toys, blankets, hats. My favorite thing is making toys. I love making little toys. Anything you can think of that can be crocheted, I pretty much make it.
Okay, so you love making toys. What kind of toys do you make?
I make stuffies. Lots of people want stuffies, like stuffed animals, like bears, dinosaurs. I just got into making it. It's called a donut animal, and it's literally the body is a donut and the head is an animal. It's so super cute. I make apples. At the craft fairs, I sell a lot of apples, and they have little faces on there. I try to encourage kids to eat some good fruit.
Well, you've got the apples, and then you've got the donuts. So
yes.
There's that.
I know it's a good balance, definitely a good balance. And of course I make dolls. I make lots and lots of dolls.
Can you do a Boston cream stuffed donut animal for me?
I'm going to definitely do that. There's going to be a challenge, but I'm definitely going to work on it.
How did you get involved with crocheting? How did that start for you?
Well, since I was 6, actually, I started crocheting. We were at a family gathering, and my aunt was wondering why I wasn't really getting into playing with my siblings and stuff. And I just wasn't really into being super active. And so she was like, well, come sit with me. And she showed me how to crochet. And I was like, what? This is bizarre, but okay, I'll try it. Then I started going over her house, and the rest is history.
And you've been crocheting all the time. Who are some of your mentors, or who inspires you to crochet, or where do you learn new techniques? How does that go for you?
Well, my aunt is my biggest inspiration, because she always was like, just try it, because you don't know if you're going to like to make something if you don't try it. When I first started getting into making stuffies and making toys, I was really nervous because I wasn't sure I was going to be able to do it right. And then Pinterest is a wealth of information for different ideas and pictures of things. You can go on Etsy, you can buy patterns, but I don't really want to use someone else's work. I kind of want to make it mine. So when I was a beginner, the patterns were really helpful. But now that I'm not a beginner anymore, I kind of will see something and I'm like, oh, I'm going to make that, but I'm going to make it my own. Very
cool. Now, as you have all these items and you make them, you mentioned you sell them at craft fairs. Mm-hmm. Where else can people find what you sell? How are they able to seek that out?
So my Etsy page is actually, I'm reopening my store, because I usually close it down during the school time, because that's when a lot of the craft fairs are during the fall and the winter time. So, and I don't want to double sell items and have someone heartbroken. So I usually close it during the school time, because I like to focus on my kids and work and all that stuff. But my Etsy store is Gorgeous Hooks. I also am on Mercari. Mercari is kind of like an offer up or a Facebook marketplace kind of thing, but it's really easy to use. It's very user friendly. But always Instagram, definitely Instagram. Like if it's something that you or special ordering or just idea, if you want to know if I can make something, you can always message me on Instagram.
What was that aha moment for you when you realized that people were receiving the items, the stuffed animals, and all the things you were crocheting? What was that feedback that you had that, oh, this is really something? I can do this more just because it's a passion, but I could do more as a business with this.
Well, I actually, so by trade, I'm a therapist, and I was working at a mental health facility in a crisis center. And one of my coworkers was like, can you make me a Snoopy? And I was like, a Snoopy, like the dog? She was like, yeah, with a little yellow bird. And I was like, okay, I can try. And I never made it for other people. I kind of experimented making stuff for my kids and kind of listened to their feedback a little bit. And this was probably like maybe, I want to say 5-6 years ago. And I went and found a pattern, and I was like, all right, but let me just modify a little bit of the stuff to kind of make it unique. And then I brought it to her, and she just was the just the way people respond. You never know, especially when you're making stuff. But just the look at her face, it's very hard to describe, but it made me warm inside. It was a very warm feeling. And she was so elated. And I was just like, oh my God, like, you really like my stuff? And she was like, yeah, can I pay you for it? And I'm like, okay. It's like, then it just took off, and she was like, oh, look what I bought from Tuesday. And I'm like, yeah, I made that. And then people were like, can you make me this? Can you make me that? And I'm like, yeah, I can.
Well, I see behind you, you must have like a whole room full of crochet supplies there behind you.
Yes.
How is it right now in your world with supply chain issues or getting the supplies you need?
So this is my craft room. I'm very blessed to be able to have a room where I can focus on my craft. But I usually shop at Joann's and Michael's. I don't really believe in like buying yarn and stuff from overseas because one, it takes a long time, but there's a lot going on over there. So I don't want to have somebody's order delayed because of something that's out of our control. When I buy my yarn, I look for deals. I'm always, always, always looking for deals. I went to Michael's, of all things. They have crazy clearances on yarn. And that's why I'm able to keep my prices so low, because I've seen people sell hats for $20 and I'll sell a hat for $10 and kids hats for $5 because I went last season, I got 125 balls of yarn for $15 from Michael's because it was they were clearancing it out and they were going to get rid of it. And people don't think about that when they sell it, like, oh, it took me a long time to make, but it doesn't really take that long to make a hat. You're selling it for $20 for somebody who really needs a hat. But a lot of the stuff I seek out in bulk, but also cost-wise, I have to make sure it's still cost-effective.
Absolutely. I mean, this is something you enjoy, you love seeing the responses, and you really enjoy seeing, your craft, what you make, and with your own two hands.
Yes.
What inspires you, Tuesday? What inspires you to get out of bed every day?
Well, really what inspires me is my kids, my husband, of course, but my kids, because they are a goofy group of kids. I have 4 of them. They're young kids, but they're growing up, and I don't want to miss a lot of that stuff. And my 2 younger daughters are always asking me to make them stuff, and they ask me to make them some very strange things sometimes.
What are some of those strange things?
I don't even know if I have it in here. But I know I have this. We have a pet hedgehog, so I made this little hedgehog.
Oh, look how cute!
And then I have like these little pigs. So my daughter Autumn.
Adorable.
Thank you. My daughter Autumn is a really big part of that inspiration, because I'll be kind of stuck on ideas, and Autumn will come over and she'll just be like with the hedgehog and the pig, I made just one. And then she said, well, why don't they have a baby? And I'm like, why don't they have a baby?
Have a whole family of them.
Right. So then I had made a little tiny one for the mom. And then she was like, you should have it together. So now I have a mom and a little baby. So now I have like this is going to be on my Etsy store. But she inspires me to create things I would never think about. And every day I'm like, Autumn, what do you think I should make today? And it's just some bizarre things.
All right. I know what you should make to go along with the pigs. I'm thinking either a pork chop or a piece of bacon. So that's going to be added to the family.
Well, actually at the craft fair, I had the one I did in Ridley, I started a breakfast bag line, and it's like a little purse, but it's my daughter actually had me think of it, and it's an egg and it's a little purse, and it's a toast and it's a purse, and it's a waffle but it's a purse, and the waffle has a little piece of butter on there.
What an awesome idea. That's fun. That's awesome. Now I'm hungry. Now you just got into the the hunger part of the podcast episode. Can I ask you a question, Tuesday?
Of course.
Why Delco? What is it about Delco for you?
Delco is amazing. It's such the population in Delco is so just energetic. Everybody's different. Everybody has their own personality. And I live in Delco. I've been living in Delco probably for 15 years now. I grew up in West Philly. And And just the people, like the people are really what makes Delco. And you don't get this group of people anywhere. Because when I work in Philadelphia and when I'm in Philly, I'm just like, these people, oh my goodness. And then I go to Delco and it's just like, now I'm home.
These
like
are your people.
Yes, these are the people. Like the way they talk to you is much different. The way of living is much calmer, and everyone kind of goes at their own pace, but also is not disrespectful of your pace.
I have a couple more Delco questions. Are you ready?
Yes.
Where are you getting your cheesesteak? Where are you ordering cheesesteak when the husband or kids say, "Hey, I want a cheesesteak tonight"?
So Johnny's Pizza is phenomenal. Everything they make is just to die for. It's on Chester Pike, and I forgot what the crossroad is, but it's right there on Chester Pike, and I think that's Lincoln Avenue. It's like a BP at the Rite Aid's across the street. The BP McDonald's is on the other side. But their pizza, oh my gosh, they're right next to Midas. That's what it is, on Meineke, one of those. Their pizza, their food, everything is amazing.
Right, so that's where you're getting your pizza, and that's where you're getting your cheesesteaks.
Everything. Oh my gosh, they're so good. And it's affordable, but it's just like, sometimes you get pizza and it's doughy and you're just like, no, oh my gosh, amazing.
Don't want doughy pizza.
No.
So you have friends, relatives, people coming from out of town, and you want to provide them with that Delco experience. Where are you sending them, or where are you taking them?
So if I'm taking them somewhere, it depends on the people. Like with my mother-in-law, she always likes to go and just look around at stuff. So media theater is really good. My son actually is doing summer camp there.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, but they're really cool, really fun. We are going to, what is the name of that place? We were supposed to be going on a hike there's this Glen Olden Park. They have a new hiking trail. It's not really new, but they put a lot of new stuff in there. And we do a lot of that. And they have a creek over there. So we take her, like, oh my God, mother-in-law loves that creek over there. Then they have all these tadpoles in there. We saw that yesterday. Tons and tons of tadpoles and frogs over there.
Awesome. Now, if you need to stop at a convenience store, where are you stopping? Wawa or Royal Farms?
Wawa. Wawa all the way.
Where will people find you next if they want to put some things on the calendar, let's say in August September for some fairs?
So I don't have any fairs in August or September, but I am going to be at I'm supposed to be at one in New Jersey right now. It's kind of up in the air right now. So I don't want to lie to someone, but on my social media, on Instagram, I always post wherever my next craft fair is going to be at.
Very cool. What's your name on social media? Is it Gorgeous Hooks?
Gorgeous Hooks. Yep.
All right. At Gorgeous Hooks. Tuesday, 3 things you're grateful for.
Oh, I'm so grateful for my family. My family is everything to me. I call us the bubble. I'm very grateful for my employment, because I work in mental health, and you're always going to have a job in mental health. And I'm grateful just to be alive. You know, there's so much stuff going on, and, you know, you never know what can happen just walking out the door.
Is there anything that we haven't talked on the podcast today about that you want people to know? Buying things that are handmade supports not just the person you're buying a gift for, but the person you're buying it from. A lot of times you don't know their backstory, you don't know their life or what's going on in their personal life that's making them want to sell things or want them to create. And always ask, like, I love when people ask me what made me want to make, like, especially at the craft fairs, like, oh, what made you want to make this? What made you want to make that? And it's always everything that I make has a story behind it. But, you know, always think about how you're helping that person. You're helping yourself as well when you're buying something, but you're also helping that person when you're buying from them. That's why I tell every person that buys from me, even if it's a keychain and it's like $5, thank you so much for your purchase, because it really does help. Tremendous. Wonderful. I am grateful for our time today. I'm gracious that we got a chance to meet today, and I look forward to seeing all your array of items that you make and offer to people in person at one point at some of these new fairs that you may be at. I'll keep an eye out on your Instagram site as well. Tuesday, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for being a friend of What's Happening Delco.